American veteran compares Russian city with city in the US. So guys, let's jump into this real quick. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe. And if you find this video interesting, like, share, and comment on it, okay? So let's check this video out now.
What's up guys, American Sputnik here, back in the beautiful city center of Kazan, Russia. Today's video is titled, Is Russia Clean? Now I'm not going to sit here and say that every single city in Russia looks like Kazan, but I am going to compare Kazan with other cities in the United States that I have lived in or been to. And I will talk a little bit about other cities I've been to across Russia and comparing them with other cities in the United States. So давай, поехали. So I'm just walking through this little park here in the city center of Kazan. Very clean and immaculate. And you know, this is a little bit off to the side. In any park in the city like Los Angeles or Colorado Springs or Seattle, Washington, those are just a few cities that I've lived in the past. You know, you would see homeless people and encampments here, you know, potentially drug addicts, and the city doesn't do anything about it. But as you can see here, see normal people going about their day, families here, this beautiful fountain with this Kazan symbol with a dragon spitting out water, and the dragons that protect the city all around it. You will see a lot of these dragon statues because they are a main symbol of Kazan. But it's very green here and very nice out. You know, it's getting ready to rain here in a little bit, but I will be showing you guys more of this area in further videos. Here on this lake here in the city center, where you can rent out little paddle boats and take them out for the day. The weather's kind of ideal for that right now, because it is summer. It was supposed to rain, but it turned out to be pretty nice today, so it's not too bad. We got this beautiful theater. It is the Tatar theater, surrounded by all these fountains. On this side is another building of the Kazan University. That's actually where I took my language exam when I needed to get residency for Russian Federation. I had to take a language exam there. So that was a pretty cool experience. I even had a couple days where I was in a classroom where we were kind of studying for the test, and it was kind of interesting being in a classroom setting where everything is in Russian only as an American. But you got these beautiful fountains here, got people out, you know, weather's nice and warm. Normally in a park like this,
This is actually wonderful. Kazan is actually neat. This is particularly Kazan in Russia, okay, and this place actually looks peaceful. I was expecting to see lots of people, like no noise is all about, but it's actually peaceful. This is really wonderful.
This, you know, in the city center of any city I've lived in the US, you'd always see probably some homeless people or maybe a tent set up or a guy sleeping in a sleeping bag, but you don't see any of that here, which is actually amazing. I'm glad they keep this place up, and it's, you know, very ideal, safe. You can walk here at any time of night and you're never going to feel like you're in any kind of danger. I think just any time of day in Colorado Springs, where I was most recently living, working or being at any part of the city, you know, I've had my semi-truck robbed when I was a truck driver, had all kinds of stuff happen out there, but here I never felt any sort of danger like that. You got plenty of security and safe feeling walking the streets here any time of day. But right now it is the middle of the day. It's gorgeous out here. This theater is awesome. We have been here once. We took our grandma here to watch a play in the Tatar language. But I'll show you guys a little more of this city area, and we'll walk to another side, because I want to show how much different it is here compared to other cities in the US. Now, like I said, I lived in Portland, I've lived in Seattle, I've lived in Los Angeles. This is where I grew up, in that area. So I'm not comparing this city to other cities in Russia, I'm comparing it to other cities in the US. And most Americans have no idea what Kazan is. Averagely, people ask me, I've never heard of Kazan, where is that? And I always say it's east of Moscow. One person in a comment of my TikTok video I recently made, where on the video it was showing Kazan, says, oh yeah, of course Moscow is the only nice city, go 800 kilometers away and it's not nice. Well, everyone thank you in the comments of that video for telling him he's kind of an idiot, but also this is almost about 800 kilometers away from Moscow, and most Americans have no idea about the city. But as you can see, it's perfectly clean and orderly and beautiful. Get a little snack at this Tatar restaurant. Dubatai daily. Neo-Tatarskaya kuchnia means Neo-Tatar cuisine. Check it out. Food finally came. We got a cranberry lemonade and a regular lemonade with our, what I call a Tatar quesadilla, except this is with horse meat. It's called kistabui. And let's try it out. Pretty good. I'd recommend this place. Tubatai daily. Gabdullah Tukai. It's a Tatar poet this park is named after. He was a poet, right? Yeah, very cool. Right, kind of near Ulica Bauman. It's a little area we crossed through. I thought looked beautiful as well. As much as beautiful cars still on the streets around here. It's old style Russian buildings. I love that style. I'm gonna head down and show you guys a little more. Another thing I've showed in previous videos about metro stations in Kazan, as well as metro stations in every other city in Russia. Everyone knows about Moscow and St. Petersburg, but this is the Kazan metro. And as you can see, it's extremely clean and beautiful.
Like he said in the video, most persons when they hear about Russia, you just think about St. Petersburg or Moscow.
Yeah.
You don't normally think about Kazan and believe Kazan will be this clean.
Yeah.
So just imagine how Moscow and St. Petersburg
it's going to be super clean.
Super clean. No,
it's
Russia.
Really nice.
Russia really changed my mind from just this Kazan video.
Kazan Metro once again.
And this one is their metro station.
So we have been here in the past, my last video, but of course this is just another example of how clean Kazan is, comparing to the metro stations in Los Angeles or other cities in the United States. As you can see, this is magnificent. And the last station and all the others, I will probably do a whole separate video on just riding through this station. Maybe others across other cities in Russia. Leave your recommendations for your cities in Russia. You guys have beautiful metro stations to show, because I want to show everyone that it's not only Moscow, because there is a myth about that among Americans, that Moscow is the only nice metro. Here's the Kremlin we were just at most recently in my last video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. You can see the sidewalks here are just immaculate.
Personally, I'm very impressed with Russia because I've been to different cities and I can tell that, you know, Russia is
really clean.
Really clean. Like,
really
and to top it off, Kazan is not even a big city in Russia and it's this clean. So you can compare with cities like New York and California.
Even US, like some places are actually dirty.
Yeah, you see how dirty it is in some places, but you can see how spotless it is and
too clean
and beautiful.
We're actually impressed, guys.
I'm very impressed.
Very clean. People enjoying their days on these grassy hills, well-maintained grass. I do think Kazan is a very beautiful city. Очень красиво. Here we have the main road here, where there's a bridge that crosses the Kazanka River on the other side of the city. We'll head to that side in other videos coming up. There are these art monuments you can take photos at. We're going to be heading to the Riverwalk right now. It's just another place to give an example of how clean the city of Kazan is. So the 80 years of victory right there. Ну, 80 лет победы.
80 лет победы.
Very clean and well-maintained roads and streets.
Organized roads.
Very organized, no potholes.
Посуду грязный, твой нежный взгляд. Ты спросишь, как дела? Да у меня дофига проблем, но ты не одна. И с счастьем добавите в моем доме. Дофига проблем, но ты не одна. И с несчастьем добавите в нашем доме.
Some guy riding a jet ski out here. Still warm enough for that. We got that Ferris wheel on the other side. We'll be heading to that side in other videos in the future. We got that letter M bridge. We have one in the entrance of the city from the east side, and it stands for Millennium, which I believe, you know, Kazan is 1,000 years old, but also I'm not sure if it was for the year 2000 or it just means millennium for the city's age. But either way, it's pretty cool, and they got two of them. So disregard my mistake someone corrected me for in the comments of my Tatarstan video. I thought it meant something else, but I was misinformed. But now we all know. The M bridges stand for Millennium. Very cool. There are swing sets along the embankment. Pretty cool. I almost want to try that myself. Looks pretty fun. Almost at the top. Made it to the top of the stairs, right next to the library up here. Got a perfect above view of the Got kids down there playing football, people walking around with their families as we were looking at earlier. Some kind of stage over here. As you can see, there's a very modern city. We got here off in the distance our Millennium Bridge. M bridge, as we talked about. Beautiful view of this city. Boats out in the distance. We got this whole area. There's people down there doing some kind of yoga class. I don't know if the camera can get that, but a lot of people doing out sports around here, running, riding bikes. It's pretty awesome. Perfect view of the city. Definitely worth walking up here. On the other side there's plenty more, another way to walk around. I am going to head back the other way, but this is the main library here that overlooks the city. Very beautiful area, places you can sit down and relax. I think the libraries in Colorado Springs, you know, last time I went there to use a computer or something, well, not even that long ago, probably about a year ago, see people sleeping in tents right outside. So there's none of that here. Non-existent. Like I said, this is a comparison of cities that I've lived in or traveled to in the US. I have been to 40 out of the 50 states in the US, and I have lived in many different cities throughout my life in the US, but I've also been to many cities traveling around Russia. Gorgeous views. Heading back down. But yeah, like I said, I've been to cities like Izhevsk and Samara, places you've never heard of if you're a Westerner for sure. Cities like Krasnoyarsk, Yekaterinburg. I won't include Moscow and St. Petersburg that I've been to, of course I have, but I'm only going to include cities that are a little unknown and use my comparison. Well guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos of my life here in Russia, as well as traveling to other cities in Russia coming soon. До свидания, y'all.
So guys, this is indeed a very wonderful video. We had a good time checking this out. Like, we were actually surprised seeing that Kazan is this clean.
Yeah.
We only hear about Moscow and St. Petersburg. I've never actually heard about how clean Kazan is. This is really wonderful. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for recommending this video, and see you guys on my next one. Bye. Bye.